Chapter 5. Harry wakes up early next morning, but he doesn't want to open his eyes. He had a really nice dream. He dreamt of a big man and he was going to a wizard school with him. But now he has to wake up. Tap, tap, tap. Aunt Petunia is knocking on the door. He doesn't want to open his eyes and get up, but now he has to. All right, says Harry. When he opens his eyes, he sees Hagrid. He's sleeping on the sofa. Harry is so happy. He realizes that it was not a dream. It's real. Also, it's not Aunt Petunia. It's an owl outside. An owl is knocking on the window with its mouth. Harry goes to the window and opens it. An owl flies into the room, drops a newspaper, and then flies away through the window. Hagrid wakes up now. He says, "Let's go. We have many things to do today. We have to buy your things on the list." Harry was so happy, but now he's not happy. He remembers that he doesn't have any money to buy those things. "Hagrid?" says Hagrid. "I don't have any money. I don't think Uncle Vernon will give me any money." "Don't worry about that," says Hagrid. "Do you think that your parents didn't leave you anything? But you know who destroyed their house?" "They didn't save their gold in the house," says Hagrid. "We will first stop at Gringotts. It's a wizard bank." "Wizards have a bank?" "Just one, Gringotts. Goblins run it. Gringotts is the safest place to save your gold, except Hogwarts maybe. People say that there is a dragon in Gringotts. I have to go to Gringotts." "Hogwarts business for Dumbledore," says Hagrid proudly. "I usually do important things for Dumbledore. I will get something from Gringotts. Dumbledore trusts me." They get in the boat and go away. The boat is a little bit slow for Hagrid. He says, "I will do something and the boat will go faster. Please don't tell anyone about it." "Of course, no," says Harry. He really wants to see magic. Hagrid brings out his umbrella and taps the boat twice, and the boat starts going faster. Hagrid is reading a newspaper. He's reading about a Minister of Magic. "There's a Minister of Magic?" asks Harry. "Of course," says Hagrid. "What do they do?" asks Harry. "They hide magic from people. If people know that there is magic, they will try to do everything with magic." They soon reach the land. Everyone is looking at Hagrid because he's so big. "Is there really a dragon in Gringotts?" asks Harry. "People say there is a dragon in Gringotts," says Hagrid. "I always wanted to have a dragon since I was a child." Soon they reach the train station. Hagrid gives money to Harry because he doesn't understand Muggle money. Harry buys tickets and they get on the train. "Do you have your letter?" asks Hagrid. "Yes," says Harry. Harry brings out his letter from his pocket and starts reading the list. There are many things. "Can we buy all of them in London?" asks Harry. "Yes," says Hagrid, "if you know the place." They get off the train in London. Harry never went to London before. It's really interesting to Harry. He sees many new things. "This is it," says Hagrid. "Leaky Cauldron. It's a famous place." It's a small pub. They get in. It's really dark. There are few people in the pub. Everyone knows Hagrid here. They wave and smile at him. "Usual Hagrid?" asks bartender. "Can't, Tom. I'm on Hogwarts business," says Hagrid, and then smiles at Harry. "Good Lord," says the bartender. "Is he? Can he be?" Suddenly, all people are silent. "Harry Potter, what an honor." He goes to Potter and takes his hand and says, "Welcome back, Mr. Potter, welcome back." Harry is surprised. What should he say? He doesn't know. Now everyone is looking at him. Hagrid is smiling. A few moments later, Harry is shaking hands with everyone in Leaky Cauldron. "My name is Daedalus Diggle." "I saw you before," says Harry. "You bowed to me in the shop." "See," says Daedalus Diggle happily, and look around at everyone. He remembers me. One man comes to Harry. "Professor Quirrell," says Hagrid. "Harry, Professor Quirrell will be one of your teachers at Hogwarts." Potter," stammers Professor Quirrell. "It's an honor to meet you." What kind of magic do you teach, Professor Quirrell? Asks Harry. Defense against the dark arts, says Professor Quirrell. But I don't think you will need it, eh? He laughs nervously. At that moment, other people want to meet Harry, and they push Professor Quirrell aside. At last, Hagrid says loudly, "We must go now. We have to buy many things today." They walk out to the narrow street. "Told you, eh?" says Hagrid, and he smiles at Harry. "I told you that you were famous. Even Professor Quirrell was nervous when he shook hands with you." "Is he always nervous?" asks Harry. "Oh yeah, a poor man. He's really smart. He was fine when he was studying books, but one year he traveled and met some vampires and some other strange people. He wasn't the same since that time. Now he's scared of everything. Where's my umbrella?" Vampires? Harry couldn't believe it. When Harry is thinking of vampires, Hagrid touches the wall 3 times with his umbrella and the wall opens. "Welcome," says Hagrid, to Diagon Alley. They walk inside. There are many shops and they are selling everything. "We have to get your money first," says Hagrid. Harry couldn't believe his eyes. There are many strange things here. Cauldrons, owls, brooms, and just everything. Soon they reach a snowy white building. It's so big. "Gringotts," says Hagrid. Inside the Gringotts, there are goblins everywhere. They are much shorter than Harry. "Good morning," says Hagrid to one goblin. "We're here to take some money out of Harry Potter's safe. Do you have his key, sir?" "Yes," says Hagrid, and then he starts searching for it in his pockets. Eventually he finds it. It's a small golden key. The goblin looks at it carefully. "I think this is the right key," says the goblin. "I also have a letter from Professor Dumbledore," says Hagrid importantly. "It's about you know what in the safe 713. The goblin reads the letter carefully. "All right, Reefhook will take you down to these 2 safes," says the goblin. "What is you know what in the safe 713? Asks Harry when they are going down to those safes. "Can't tell you," says Hagrid. "It's very secret. Hogwarts business. Dumbledore trusts me with this." Soon, they get in a small cart and go down with it. They go down, down, and down. The cart finally stops at one safe. Reefhook opens the door with the key. There are a lot of gold coins in the safe. "All yours," Hagrid says. Harry thinks that he can't tell Dursleys about it. If they know it, they will want to get all of it. Hagrid helps Harry, and they put some of the golden coins into a bag. "Probably that's enough," says Hagrid. "You will need some of them later. Now let's go to the safe 713. Now they're going down again. When they reach the safe, Harry sees that there is no keyhole in the safe. Reefhook walks to the safe and touches it with his finger, and the safe opens. Harry is sure that something really important is inside the safe. When the safe opens, at first Harry thinks it's empty. Then he sees a small package. Hagrid quickly picks it up and puts it inside his coat. When they go out of the bank, Harry is really happy. He never had this much money in his life. "Let's go and get your uniform," says Hagrid. "I have to go to Leaky Cauldron quickly. Can you buy your uniform alone?" "Yes, of course," says Harry. Madame Malkin is a small lady. When Harry enters her shop, she says, "Hogwarts, dear, there's another boy here. He also wants to buy a uniform." "Hello," says the other boy. "Hogwarts, too?" "Yes," says Harry. "My father's buying my books, and my mother's buying me a wand," says the boy. "Then I will buy a racing broom. They say that first years cannot have a racing broom. I don't see why." "Do you have a broom?" asks the boy. "No," says Harry. "Do you play Quidditch?" "No," Harry says again. What is Quidditch? Harry thinks. "I like to play Quidditch. Hopefully, I will play for my house. What house are you going to be in? Do you know?" "No," says Harry. He's feeling really stupid right now. "No one knows their house until they go to Hogwarts, of course. But I know that I will be in Slytherin. All of our family were in Slytherin. I think if I get in Hufflepuff, I will leave the school." Says Harry. What should he say? He doesn't know. "Wow, look at that man," says the boy. He's pointing at Hagrid. Hagrid is standing in front of the window and smiling with two ice creams in his hands. That is Hagrid, says Harry. He's happy that he knows one thing. I heard about him. He's a servant, right? Says the boy. No, he's a keeper, says Harry. Harry now dislikes the boy even more. Yes, he lives in the small house and sometimes drinks alcohol and tries to do some magic and fails, says the boy. I think he's great, says Harry. Really? Says the boy. Why is he with you? Where are your parents? They're dead, says Harry. Sorry, says the boy, but he doesn't sound sorry. They were our kind, right? Asks the boy. Yes, they were a witch and a wizard, says Harry. I think they shouldn't let normal people in the school, says the boy. They don't know anything. Some of them never heard about Hogwarts before they went to school. What's your name? Before Harry could answer, Madame Malkin comes and says, Finished, now you can go. See you at Hogwarts, says the boy. Harry goes out and meets Hagrid. What's Quidditch? Asks Harry. I forgot that you knew so little. I can't believe that you don't know Quidditch. Don't make me feel worse, Hagrid, says Harry. He then tells Hagrid about the boy in the store. He said that normal people shouldn't be in school, says Harry. If he knows your name, he will be really surprised, says Hagrid. You saw those people in Leaky Cauldron, right? They were really happy to see you. Also, some of the best witches and wizards were from Muggle family. For example, your mom. So what is Quidditch? Asks Harry. It's our sport, wizard sport. We play it on the broomstick in the air, says Hagrid. And what are Slytherin and Hufflepuff? Schoolhouses, says Hagrid. There are 4 houses in the school. Everyone says Hufflepuff is full of not-so-smart students, but I'm sure I will be in Hufflepuff, Harry says sadly. It's better to be in Hufflepuff than in Slytherin, says Hagrid. All the bad witches and wizards were in Slytherin. You know who was there? You know who was at Hogwarts? Asks Harry. Many years ago, says Hagrid. They enter the bookshop and buy all of Harry's books. Harry really wants to buy a book about curse, but Hagrid doesn't let him. I want to curse Dudley, says Harry. I'm not saying that is a bad idea, says Hagrid, but you can't use magic in the Muggle world. Also, you cannot use those curses. You have to study many years before you can use them. They buy almost all things on the list. Now, they have to buy only one thing, Harry's wand. But before they go to the wand store, Hagrid says, I didn't give you a birthday present. You don't have to, Hagrid, says Harry. He's red now. I know I don't have to, but I will. I will buy you an owl. 20 minutes later, Harry has an owl. It's sleeping now. He says thanks to Hagrid many times because he's so happy. It's okay, says Hagrid. Probably you didn't get many presents from Dursley's. Now we will go to Ollivander's, the best place to buy a wand. Harry cannot believe it. Now he will buy a magic wand. The shop is really small. Good afternoon, says Mr. Ollivander. Hello, says Harry. Hello, Harry Potter, says Mr. Ollivander. You have your mother's eyes. She bought her wand from me. It seems like yesterday. Your father bought his wand from me too. Mr. Ollivander moves closer to Harry and looks at him carefully. Then he touches Harry's scar. I'm sorry to say it, but I sold the wand to him, and that wand left his scar on your forehead. He's looking at Harry so carefully. Harry feels nervous. Rubius Hagrid, how are you? Says Mr. Ollivander suddenly. You also bought your wand from me, right? Did they break your wand when they expelled you? Yes, they did, says Hagrid. When he says it, he's holding his umbrella so tightly. Now let's find your wand, says Mr. Ollivander. He gives Harry one wand. Harry waves the wand, but Mr. Ollivander quickly takes the wand back. It's not for you, he says. Harry tries so many wands, but all of them are not for Harry. Eventually, he gets one wand, and when he holds it, he feels something. When he waves the wand, fireworks come out of his wand. Interesting, really interesting, says Mr. Ollivander. He takes Harry's wand and puts it in the box, but he's still saying, interesting. Sorry, asks Harry. What is interesting about it? Mr. Ollivander looks at Harry carefully. I sold many wands, says Mr. Ollivander. I remember all of them, every single one. There is a phoenix feather in your wand. We're only two feathers from the phoenix. One of them is in your wand, and another one is in someone else's wand, and he gave you that scar. What should he say? Harry doesn't know. The wand chooses its wizard. I think you will be a great wizard. You know who did great things? Terrible, but great things. After they buy Harry's wand, they walk in the street. Harry doesn't say anything. You're being so quiet, says Hagrid. Are you okay? Everyone thinks I'm special, says Harry, but I don't know any magic. Don't worry, says Hagrid. Everyone is a beginner at first. You will learn everything. Hagrid goes to the train station with Harry. Now, Harry will go back to Dursley's. Here's your ticket to Hogwarts. If you have a problem with Dursley's, send me a letter. Harry says goodbye to Hagrid and gets on the train.